shot here. It's a pain in the ass. But it's fine. Can you eat people? Anytime you can eat people. Providing I stop dropping stuff all over the place. Okay. I've been playing this for a while now. As such, I have unlocked 2 additional people, but you do start with only the top 4. They have class abilities. You have to roll a particular number. And this game is about rolling dice, literally, tabletop style. So there's some kind of role-playing elements, I guess. You roll the right number, and then you have a class ability which can affect your crew member, the other crew members who are in the same pod, or other things. The other guys here are pretty handy, but I'm inclined to like the specialist. Like, I like everybody they start you with. I don't know. The pilot, the cannibal, and the psychologist, maybe they're better. Maybe. Technician's not bad, though. But in the interest of just goofing about, we're just gonna go with the original crew.
We have prepared for any disaster, for every disaster. Not all of them at once. We can't turn back, but how can we go on?
A cluster of micrometeoroids has crippled the Ikatomi and killed 2 crew. Blah blah blah. You get that message every time you start. The main catastrophe that puts you in this particular situation. At any rate, your goal is to get to Mars. And I have not done that. I think I got 1 week away. Each turn is a week. And each turn is represented by something that went wrong. In this case, we've got 2 things that went wrong. And then you've got your crew members. Where they are in the ship is where they're placed. So you got 2 right now in the life support, and the others are scattered. Generally speaking, it's a I'm thinking it's entirely randomized at the beginning of the game. You may have lots of health for your people and very little ship health, or you might have little ship health and lots of dice for your people. And underneath their pictures are little squares that indicate how much dice they have. And that's exactly how it sounds. When I go into an event here, which I'm going to do, I'm going to send the doctor over here. She has the most dice. That means she'll legitimately throw 3 dice. But every time you use them, after every event, they lose a die. So, yeah. That's the amount that they can throw on any given turn, and after each use of the person, there will be less die to throw on the next event. Unless you find a way to earn them dice, which you can do through various elements that we'll get around to. This is a pretty good roll, I guess. Well, it could have been better. I can actually hold on to that one and then re-roll. Any of these particular elements where things go wrong also have modifiers. So, at the top of the screen there, next to the repair element, it mentions stasis. It's one of the most common issues. If you roll a 1 or a 3, it can be held, and then you can't re-roll it, which can be catastrophic. The game starts you off with a certain amount of assist points, which can mitigate, nullify, or avoid those bad effects. There's various ways to earn those assist points, but generally speaking, if you don't have them and you hit those bad rolls, that's just not good. And screwed either way here, so. If you roll a 5 or a 6, like a 6, 5 or higher, you can do the class ability, which in this case, if there was more than one person in here with me, I could heal myself and that person for a point. In every module, there's also something ship specific that can happen. In this engine room here, if I had enough die, like 2 equal amounts of, you know, if I rolled 2 dice of 1 or 3 or 5, it doesn't matter the numerical value, I could put them over here under ship repair, and I could actually repair the ship. In this case, the numerical value will knock down the repair value, which is a good thing, but you have yet another thing you can do. If you don't have a very good situation, you don't have very good rolls, you can still put the dice in this research bank. Numerical values don't matter here in so much as you need, there's a slot for each die, right? So 1, 2, 3, etc. And a randomized selection of events, or not events, but options you can use. Distress your crew, give them some food, which consequently gives them more dice, prevent injury. Or you can spend a die to shuffle up those and get different positive effects. So you can always at least do something with them, yeah? With your dice. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work out too well for me. Because I don't have a lot of die. That was a high value to start with, and we'll move the mechanic over. The mechanic, obviously, his class ability can heal the ship, so you can kind of get a double whammy there. I'd like to roll something higher. Jeez. Put that there. Anyone who is otherwise engaged and has been used, like the dice rolls, they are actually incapacitated now until the next week. So I have to solve these or suffer the consequences. If I do not solve this particular issue in the engine room, it's -1 health on everybody. It's not very good. But neither is the other option. -1 die to everybody. But you cannot actually totally run out of die, they'll always have at least 1. But it you really need more dice if you want to last. This is just going swimmingly. I've put everyone on this, and we haven't been able to solve this. Oh. There we go. This event is completed, but we did not manage to solve the other event. Everybody's going to lose a die. Now we move on to the next week.
But if I can't lead them, we're all dead. I need to get it together.
Every week, you get to choose a project. Really, it's just, if your crew is really stressed, you get worse options. If they're not very stressed, you get better options. Stress being the little green bar to the left there of each person. Essentially, you want more positive, less negative. I mean, 1 food or 30% stress for these two. 1 dice for these two, or less health for the ship. Now, you start out with 1 piece of food, and you can earn it by going to the garden part of the ship and then rolling the 5 or the 6. Or you can get food through these events here. So I'm going to choose to stress these guys out in lieu of getting some extra nibbly. So the 2 green die represent food, and I can choose who to give them to. You get 3. The mechanic being able to heal the ship is pretty handy, so you know, I'll give him that. Okay. Only 2 crew member with enough dice to really get shit done here. The longer that the -8, or pardon me, minus dice, the event in the botany garden area, the longer that one stays active is really bad, because we're just gonna every week lose dice. But on the other hand, there's an event there, Sysfail, infected equipment. I've seen these pop up. They don't appear to have negative effects, really. It doesn't explain them. It just says infected equipment, but there's no negative issue. The one in the engine room has a red nub or dot. That is at the damage the ship will suffer if I don't cure it. I have a lot of ship health, so I'm going to focus on taking this out first. I have a feeling that even though there's no negative consequences being listed, that if I left it, it would actually have some problem. I don't know. If I roll a 2 here, I will actually suffer damage. The more die you have, the greater the chances of rolling a 2, of course. Later in the game, you're going to really hit some points where you could roll 3 die that could relate to an injury. We have a good roll here, but I'm a greedy son of a bitch. I would love to get a 5 or a 6 here. Oh. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh well. I solved it. He now only has 3 dice, but, you know. We're gonna send the doc here, and hopefully she can roll. She can't. Captain, he can follow this up at least. He's gotta. Even if he gets, oh no, the void, I didn't mention. If you have a void trap or negative consequence associated with this event, void is like the worst, because it'll swallow your dice, and if it swallows your dice, well, it's just fucking gone. Murder, She Wrote. That's it. Very bad. You know what? Now, oh, pardon me, I didn't use the doc, I used the specialist. The doctor has 4 die, and, well, she should be able to solve this. Now I have a potential here to do some good, because this is where you can harvest food. All I need is 2 die, equal value, and I can harvest food on the right. Equal. No, we're not going to get anywhere there, but I can bank this down here. The number associated with the positive action is the amount of dice you need to have banked in order to use that ability. Plus 1 dice to the crew member in the pod. De-stress the crew. all crew 10%. Very handy. I have a feeling, though I'm not entirely certain, but in my observations, the more stressed your crew is, the worse the events or damaging events that occur every week, the worse they'll be. Less stress, they seem to be not as horrific. So I'm going to go ahead and use it.
I let my fear get the better of me, but the others have proven me wrong. I'm proud of how the crew has come together. I think we might actually have a chance.
Lies. There is no chance. You're all gonna die. I mean, as you get farther too, you're going to discover that it's a war of attrition, really, and people. I don't. There's a way to get them all there, but I think, generally speaking, even when I do manage to beat the game, the average is one person will probably die, at least. So again, I can choose this, but I'll lose dice for these two individuals. They're also the people that have the most dice currently, but they'll get food for more dice. Plus 1 health for everybody, or, you know, you'll get a little bit more stress for those two people. Everybody's a little hurt. So I'm gonna... But I don't have any food either, so... You just... I mean, that's a bad choice. And these things right here, you really want to have low stress because you'll get more positives and less negatives. You know. Because if they lose dice, they'll be down to 1, and I'll only have 1 cube of food. So I'm just gonna go with that. At least I've got 2 people who can do something here. So we're on week 3. It's looking dire. If I do not solve the problem in the operations pod, the ship will suffer 3 damage. If I do not solve the problem in the food pod, we'll lose food. Now we have no food to lose, so theoretically, you know, that's acceptable. We can leave it, I guess. You want to stockpile food if you can. Now the parts of the ship that are red, I cannot traverse without suffering minus health. You can mitigate this by using options down here that you might get that will allow free movement. Or you can go to the flight control, roll a 5, and hopefully get the no movement damage bonus. So there is a bonus for each room or pod. Knowing when to go for them, if you can go for them at any given time, can make a big difference in how far you're going to get in the game. I already foresee I'm not going to get far because I do not have a lot of dice and no food. But we'll give it a go, right? These two only have 1 to roll, so they can't even try to repair the ship. But here's what I can do with them. For the following round, I can ensure to have more dice if I can deploy them in here. Life support. And even rolling 1 die will regain them die. The consequence being that I've expended them and they're no longer useful to me this round. I'm not going to be able to solve all these. Clearly, you know, the more dice you have, the more likely you can survive. And this is an event right here was bad. I've only got 1 assist. So if I roll all 3 of those, 3, 4, and 5, it's 3 damage, she dies. 1 assist point will mitigate or negate 1 of those bad rolls. And we're screwed anyway, so let's just do it. There you go. I was spared 1 of those bad rolls. And this is kind of an incentive not to roll again, even though I could. Because if I do, I might get a bad roll, and I'm toast. So you might as well go all or nothing here, right? Knock it down. And the goal is to live as long as you can. Now that I solved it, I do have the benefit of being able to roll in safety. I can go ahead and heal the ship, or I can take this 5 and distress them. I might as well. These two here, they're just not going to get anything done. Oh, look at that. I will shit myself if she rolls a 6. Oh, I get that. I just realized that. The system fail doesn't have a negative support for the ship in the pod that has the system support to regain dice until I clear this event. Plus, if I have 2 dice in the bank, that's not going to matter because everyone's going to lose the dice at the end of this roll anyway, because of what's going on in the food bay.
I've checked our food stores and it looks grim. We lost more than half our supplies with the module. If we don't find some creative solutions, we'll starve before we ever reach Mars.
Yeah, creative. Pardon me. We have lots of ship health, so what we can do is, well, we can take that option right there. Suffer -2 health on the ship, get us some food. Consequently, more dice. More dice good. Now we enter cannibalism. Cannibalism bad. There's a dead crewmate who is preserved, and if you last long enough, you get the opportunity to eat that person. Though it will lower your maximum health, and it won't give you as much dice as actual food, and it raises your stress, which can really screw the pooch for the long-term success. I don't foresee this run making it that far, mind you. So, I might as well just eat some human. Everybody's going to be stressed to high heaven here and low on health because it actually hurts people to do it. I mean, it will hurt them to eat that person. And I can legitimately sacrifice someone for more human meat. I mean, you really only do that if you got near the end of the game, I guess. So yeah, 4 weeks in, I've made it to the final week, but I have not beaten this game yet. -1 health for everybody is bad. I think I always try to take care of them first, because they're going to kill you in the long run. And you can suffer damage on the ship, you can let other things lie, but you can't. I mean, I've only got 1 health for several of my people here. And rolling here, there's an opportunity to die instantly, because if I roll a 3, I'm going to hit the injury. I don't have a choice, really. Well, let's see what happens. Got lucky. I might as well put the 5 into the class specific option for this pod, or this part of the ship here, and heal up the ship. Because I'm kind of screwed no matter what, so I'll take that. Every crew member does have their specific thing they can do. The specialist has nothing. She can just roll 3 times instead of 2. That can be handy if you're trying to get... Oh, double injury. That can be handy if you're trying to get more favorable dice, really. We solved it, but she's nearly dead. We're not going to solve all of these issues. I'll put the captain in here and I'll finish this one off. Captain can actually regain dice for himself and anyone who's in the pod with him. That can be handy if you have like 3 people in the same room. So, I'll just do that. He's got 3 dice back. I could bank this. Or throw it in the ship-specific ability. Regain dice. So now he's got full dice. I threw 5 or higher in his class ability to regain a dice. And 1 die in the ship ability to regain dice. The nice part about some of these ship abilities is that some of them, you don't need to have more than 1 die. Just throwing 1 dice into the regain dice field gives me 2 dice. But in order to get 4 dice, I need to at least have a second dice of the same numerical value. So if I had 2 3s, then I could have got 4 dice back. For some of these abilities, mind you, like harvesting food in the greenhouse, I can't just put 1 dice over there and get food. I have to have at least 2 dice of the same value. So some of them are easier to get than others. I could go ahead and try to finish that last event off with the doctor. Or I could send her into the medical bay and try to roll a 5 and heal herself. Or even into the laboratory and roll a 5 to get an assist. The assist points being what I discussed that help you get around the injuries and other fun stuff. But to hell with it. Those are the worst traps up there, I'm telling you. Void, swallowing the dice is so bad. Like so. It legitimately just removes them. I can re-roll, but I'll only be rolling those 2. It doesn't matter because I have enough to finish that off.
A transmission arrived. Not from Earth, but from Mars. From Tharsis. An impossible signal from an impossible source. Is this what we're searching for? Who's transmitting this signal? Was there another mission to Mars? One sent before ours? Or is the message coming from someone else?
Pardon me. And you get far enough, eventually you'll start to get 3 options after each week. And it gets hard because these 2 options will kill one of them. It'd take minus stress for Kayla, but minus 1 health for all crew. That's going to kill, well, it's going to kill 3 people. Or this gent here, Jean Olo, plus 1 food but minus 2 health for all crew. That's going to kill mostly everybody. So that's, or minus 1 health for all crew and minus, oh pardon me, no, plus 1 health for all crew but minus 1 dice for those 2. There is no good option here, but keeping people alive is, well, it's just the best option really, I think. Now I could sacrifice this dude and use his tasty human meat to feed these 3 people, fill them up on dice, and maybe last a bit longer. I'm not gonna do that though. We only got 2 events here, but in the navigation system there, flight control, that's a bad one. The trap is void, and there's 3 die. So this could be where I die here, because well, you know what, I can avoid that and just let it ride. The chances of me being able to roll and not have my dice get swallowed up by void are pretty small. Shit. More dice. I have 2 dice in the research bank, which means I can use the snack ability to regain a dice. I'll go for it. Kind of what I'm thinking is I really want to take care of that ability, so, or the problem in the flight deck there. I'm gonna send a specialist to the laboratory. There's no event that she needs to fix. But if I roll a 5 or a 6, hopefully, there we go. I can get assist points, 3 assist points, or second chances if I roll an injury, a void, or a stasis. That will save my ass. So now I can send Captain over here. And if he rolls a 3, a 4, or a 5, I have 3 assist points. And get a jail free card, I guess. I thought he had more dice than he... Oh, shit. I took the mechanic and not the captain. Oops. So yeah, instead of having that dice swallowed, the assist point saved me on that. I'm gonna have to move the captain over now. And really hope he gets a good roll. I'm gonna put these down here and re-roll. And bad idea. I still solved it, but I was hoping to be able to use extra dice to do something.
That suit, it's designed for the Academy. Nobody has them but us. So who are they? And where did they get them?
5 weeks to Mars. The halfway point. +1 dice for the captain and +2 health for him. He has the most health right now. He can suffer that. Hurt the ship and lose stress for just him. Her, I mean. +1 food and -2 to the ship. The ship has enough health that can take it. I'll go with it. So we're gonna feed the mechanic. Surprisingly, I thought this was gonna be a very bad run. I know I'm gonna die soon, but I've been able to hold it together for a little while anyway. Not good. I have more damage. If I do not solve the problem in the food bay, this ship will explode. There's no way around it. Thing is, he could suffer 3 injury points, but he has to roll a 1 in order to do that. I'll take it. Let's re-roll 2 dice. Fuck off. A load of crap, that right there. Alright. Almost solved it. And he's almost dead. If I don't solve the problem in this pod here, each crew member will suffer -2 health, and that's going to kill everybody. I didn't see that. I should have been focusing on that first. But if he rolls a 2 or a 3, he's dead. Ooh, so close. Let's put this down here. This in here to give us assist points to hopefully save our life. Reroll. That worked out rather well. Okay, we'll put the doctor in. Now, at least if she rolls a 2 or a 3, she's got assist points to save her life. Very good, that would have killed me. That would have totally killed me otherwise. Can't even use that. So we only got 1 person left we can use this turn. But we're all running pretty low on dice. If she rolls a 1, she's dead. No, I got an assist point. Oh! Just enough to finish it anyway. So the ship suffers 1 point of damage because I couldn't take care of that.
See if this failed, the more it scares the shit out of me. Who are they? What's going on here? What have we gotten ourselves into?
4 weeks to Mars. As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, get your ass to Mars. This is, everybody loses dice, and they get some food. An assist point. Oh, pardon me. That's not too bad, right? If I take any of these options, people will die. And they're all going to get stressed no matter what you pick. I mean, if I don't pick any of the other options, they're going to get stressed anyway, so I wouldn't worry about that. I can get an assist point, but lose a dice for just Allison. That's not really a problem because you cannot lose one. If you only got one dice, you get to keep that. Everybody will lose a dice here, but I get one piece of food. But I can only feed that to one person. This seems like the lesser of two evils to me. I'm inclined to murder one of them for food. There'll only be 3 people, but by doing this I can ensure that all 3 people have a lot of dice rolls, right? I think the specialist is, well, I think she's gotta go. Oh, we killed her. Alright. This is basically the end of the game because I can feed these 2 her meat. They're down to 1 health point. But it lowers their overall health for each piece of human meat that they eat. Meaning, even if I heal them, they'll never get full health. It's really a last-ditch effort. And I'm only doing it because I don't think they're going to live much farther. I mean, I got 4 ticks of damage here. This ship will not survive unless I solve all of these issues. Well, there might be a way. First, we're gonna put the captain down here and hope that he can solve this in 1 turn. Let's reroll. Ah, shit. I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have done that. Bank the 3. Now, because I banked the 3, I have a number 2 die in there, and I can heal the ship for 1 point. I have no assist points. I'm gonna put the doctor in here. This is the safest bet. +1 health to all crew in the module. The doctor's class-specific ability is to heal. I happen to have 2 people in here. I'm gonna pump 1 in there. Now her and the mechanic have an extra point of health. I can take the other 5 and put it into the ship's ability for increased assist. 3 points of assist. I now have an option. I can try to ignore what's going on in the medical bay. Send the mechanic into maintenance. Attempt to roll 2 die of the same value. Heal the ship. And survive the damage that I will suffer. Or I can send the mechanic in there and hope that he manages to roll 25. He's got 5 dice. You'd have to roll 5 5s or like 3 6s, and I don't know. It just, I'm not comfortable with that. It'll be game over if I don't. So we're going to send him into here and gamble. This will heal the ship for 1 point. That's his ability. Now if I can roll... If I can roll 2 die. Nope. Oh yeah. Yeah. Here we go. 1 in there. 1 in here. Now the ship is considerably more potent here. And I can bank the rest here. That's a really handy one right there. It'll repair 28 damage on any given event, but I'd have to have the whole bay filled up. Minus stress for everybody. Okie dokie.
Those people, are they us? What's happening to them? Are we seeing ourselves? But that's insane. What's happening to us?
I got a lot farther than I realized. I didn't think I would. 3 weeks to Mars. +2 food and -5 health for the captain. That will murder him outright, but there'd be plenty of dice for everybody. +2 health for him, but -2 health to the ship. I could do it, but it'd be pretty much certain death. I don't want to get below the... Well, you know what? We're just going to go with this option. More stress for Kayla, and only -1 damage to the ship. Okie dokie. This is where we die. We're gonna die. 2 events have 2 ticks of damage, and even if I solve those 2 events, the ship will still be in danger. Well, I need to try and solve one of those 2. But I have 3 assist points, and it's going to be very good to use them up in a dangerous area. So we'll go here. Oh, I can't. Hold on. There we go. One assist point left. No! Okay. He can't even get there because if he travels there, he will lose a point of health and die. The game just won't let me move him. I can't move him. Captain, I cannot move over there because, again, he's damaged, and that part of the ship is damaged, so traveling through it will hurt him. And you know what this means? It means game over. Well, we'll try to solve this with the captain. Fat lot of good this will do me. able to do, if I'm lucky, is put the mechanic in here. Yeah, see? 2 dice of the value 3 will go into ship repair. Oops. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I accidentally put it into repairing the module. I should have put it into the right bay for ship repair. That would have given me like 2 points, and then I could have put the 6 into his ability to heal the ship, and I would have survived. 1 more turn only, but I would have survived. I would have made it 2 weeks to Mars. Personal best was 1 week to Mars. And now we die. So 8 turns, or 8 weeks, 800 points. I completed 32 events. I don't know what the whole ship hull thing is. I suppose that if I had made it to Mars, it would account how well my ship was. How much food I have at the time when I died would give me points. I managed to keep all 4 crew for a while. And I ate 6 pieces of human. That actually subtracts your score too, so if you're going for a good score run, then you don't want cannibalism. Not at all. But survival. I mean, I don't know. And basically, the more you play, if I keep eating people, once I've eaten 120 pieces of people, I'll get the cannibal. The pilot you can get just for beating the game, which I have not been able to do. And the psychologist, I've almost unlocked. You just gotta bank dice into the research bay. And you do that to earn points, I guess. The numerical values add up. I'm up to 300. I'm almost about to unlock the psychologist. But I think that's going to be it for now. I mainly wanted to do this video to show off to family and friends this game because I find it really intriguing. It's interesting. A breath of fresh air, maybe. I don't know. Anyone who's watching or will watch later, thanks for watching. And I'll more than likely do more videos because, well, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment.